Well, we know that the weather has been behaving funny lately. And, well, we were just talking about something about an hour ago about how Accra seemed to be now lying in a certain geographical area and also within a certain pattern for which just a little or just a little bit of rain tend to swamp many of the communities.
Yeah.
And for those of you who tend to live in, especially, let's say, areas in that very constituency, Klote Koli, you should be very much worried. At Abraka, we have areas in Osu, etc. And, well, prior to now, you didn't witness a lot of flooding, but now you're witnessing them.
Yeah.
Is it because they're changing weather patterns? And what should we also be expecting? We're here to talk a lot more about it.
Yeah, and we'll speak to an expert in this regard because we're not. We've got Mr. Mulat Chachusiame on the phone. He's a meteorologist, meteorological officer with the Ghana Meteorological Agency. He joins us via phone now to tell us what's happening. Hello, Mr. Siame. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay. So, you know, we want to find out what the trend is. What's happening around this time? Should we be experiencing those rains here and there, what we're experiencing today?
Oh, yes. Today, I got the thunder today. Yesterday, we had thunder and rain. Yesterday. Over Accra, Adan, Aflawu, and surrounding areas. Even Accra, they also had some. And the middle sector also experienced heavy rain during the night. And this morning, they are in cloudy conditions over the cloudiness over the middle sector up to part of the northern region. That is what is happening now. We are getting a minor rain season of the southern half of the country. And the major rain season, or the single and major rain season for the north is different now. So the minor, that's the second rain season, the minor one for the middle and the coastal sector. It's in place and it's giving us downpours or the heavy rain we are experiencing of late over certain places or certain areas by the southern part of the country.
So you say what we're experiencing is minor and it's resulting in a lot of flooding?
Oh, yes, it's minor rain season. If we want to classify it, in the major rain season, we have so many things of getting rain, and some of the downpours are also high value, very, very heavier than what probably we normally get in the minor rain. There could be a shift or deviation. But this season that we are in, which starts from September through to November, that's about just 3 months. It's a season where the rainfalls are not of any high value normally, but occasionally we can have some of the downpours being very, very high in value when we measure the quantum of it by heart. So this year, for instance, we are experiencing such high values out of some of the storms, very slow-moving storms. They give these longer hours of downpour, and when it happens like that, it accumulates and then causes floods. Similar thing occurred in 2011, 2010 or 2011. I think 2010 or so. That's on the 4th of November, 4th of October, we had a similar downpour, and Ajama and the three surrounding areas got flooded, and people, lost their lives. That was unprecedented, So these, out of the normal rainfalls, are occasionally happening in the minor rain season, but it's not the normal.
Should we be preparing ourselves for a lot more of these rains in the coming days?
Yeah, we are getting out of October. After this move by, we are getting out of October, and as we get out it's not very likely that we'll be getting such volumes of water coming out from the rain. So we are just getting out into the drier period. So I'm not expecting any heavy downpour or heavy rain or downpour, heavy rain or downpour. I'm not expecting such over the southern, most part of the southern. Isolated cities remain, but not such widespread or scattered activity.
Okay, please, this is Roland Walker. I'm a co-host too with Mamavio Usabwaji, and thanks again. But at what point do we have to make conclusions that perhaps your warnings really will help than not help? Because often we've seen areas in Accra which hitherto were not very much prone to floods, but now are very much prone to floods.
You said at what point?
Can we say that your warnings would help or not help? Because in areas in Accra where prior to now there were no flooding situations, now just a little hours or minutes of rain results in some floods. Yeah,
let me come in with this thing. When you check on water resources management, hydrologically, in fact, my dad told me that even in the 40s and 50s, Circle has been a flood-prone area, and over the years, Circle has been experiencing this flood. And you know, at Aladu, a place called Kapan, we have a twin sort of river, Jowulu, and then Achimota. These two rivers, or dormant rivers, when it rains upland, north of Accra, all waters from Adenta and all the barriers, even around Ayimesa and Co, they drain into some Circle, Kapai. And then from Kapai, both waters move. But so heavy, for the volumes are so great, and they move into Circle. And those things, when they get into the sea, becomes a problem, because if the seas are high tide, it do not accept any water program. So they accumulate and come to flood Circle. Circle is a very low-lying area of the attack. And also we have another drain too, which comes from the airport through Christian Methodist and joins in there. So the accumulation becomes so great that the exit or the discharge is not as fast as the recharge. The recharge is higher than the discharge. We can't do anything about the downpour. And when we consider the discharge, we can't stop the sea, and the sea is in control of that. Secondly, let me say that I was in China, and they had 23 millimeters of rain, and the gym got flooded. Why? We asked the question. We asked our lecturer, why? And he asked us, when we landed at that place, have we ever seen any bare land where we have grass? Every place is covered by quota, building, covered. I mean, we have the whole place cemented. There's cement all over. We don't have bare land to hold the water from time. No grasses to hold the water, but we have buildings. Almost every place we have buildings. So the buildings help to accumulate water, because when water falls on rooftops, they quickly comes down and runs into drains and accumulates, and it gets the place flooded. So even 20 millimeters or 23 or 24 millimeters of rain or 30 millimeters of rain can get the place flooded, because of the structure, the nature of the surface. The surface is not permitting water to circulate and infiltrate and circulate into the soil, and it runs over, it gets accumulated, and then spreads and brings floods. If you compare Accra to Adan, where we have sandy area, when it rains, it circulates, it infiltrates and percolates easily into the soil. So within seconds, you don't see any water at Adan. Unless we have long days of rainfall for maybe a month or 2 months, then Adan can be flooded. And I experienced that in 68, 73, and I think in the 80s too, there has been Adan, just because of the long days of rainfall. It's sandy, but we had floods.
Okay. You experienced that in 1968, eh?
68, yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now let's look at this. We have to wind up our discussion or wrap up our discussion on this very issue. We're talking about the weather. At the policy level, what sort of perhaps direction or perhaps input do you make to make sure that perhaps over the medium to long term we try to forestall some of these, because the topographical patterns and areas that you're talking about, that is not only peculiar to us. In more developed economies, some of these are all the same, but they tend to turn them around.
Yeah, in fact, I can't say much about policy now, because I, for one, my duty is to predict whether it's going to rain or it's going to shine, and that's what I've been doing, for all these times. But if it comes to policy, unless they ask me about my views, and I can also give it up, but there are people there who have to, or who are taxed to it. Of late, the June 4th flag, Petit Pratt came out with an audit report in 2002 or 2003 or so, which suggested certain things to be made, to be put in place as cycles. And all over the years, those things were not put in place. And it was the exact thing that the auditor wrote about cycle happened, rain and fire. That audit report is still there. Nothing has been done. So as for me, policy making and all those things, I don't want to put my mouth into those things again. But when you talk, they will tell you that what you are saying is so that the mind of people who are in authority. So I'll do my work, and people who I think I can support with advice, I go out to the beach, get the fishermen, I tell them the source polluters, I tell them the farmers, I interact with those people. Okay. But I can't change anything. Sure. I don't have the power to change.
We get you. Let's talk about one more, just the last thing before you leave us, an area where you have the power to say it as it is. What's the weather going to be like today?
Oh, for today, we are going to experience cloudy weather over the northern part of the country for this morning up to about 12 o'clock. After 12, we have a sunny break over the northern half of the country. The coastal sector is also going to experience sunny with few clouds this morning. However, there is a weak storm to the coast of Nigeria and then Benin, and it's making its way towards the country. It's quite slow. It's stagnated there for about 8-10 hours. It's now making a move towards the country, headed into the sea. So it will bring...
You said headed to where? Where is it headed? Into the sea. Okay.
It's moving south, westward, towards Ghana. So the coast, the fishermen or people who be out for fishing, it's likely about 40% probability that they are going to experience cloudiness. After the cloudiness, it's about 80%. But the rain, maybe about 40% probability that they will experience rain from that system, which is now currently coming. The coastline from Accra to Accra, we are also going to get cloudiness maybe after 11 or 12 o'clock. All things being equal, the probability is about 40% that we are going to get clouds over the coast of Accra, or the eastern coast like Aflau, Ada, Kita, Accra, Winnipeg. So that will happen about 11 or 12 o'clock. 40% probability for that. And if it happens, then we are going to experience some rainfall amount just around that in that time.
Okay.
And then the western coast currently is raining around Accra, and that will continue for some time. Until about 11 o'clock. I think the Upper Sydney also will experience some. And that means it will be cloudy over there with the rain coming. So
all right.
The forecast for the day. The temperature north in the afternoon about 2 o'clock, they will report about 35 degrees Celsius. And tomorrow morning, temperatures will drop to about 23, 24 degrees. Middle sector, we have a max which will be about not more than 34, but 33 and 32 degrees to be recorded. And tomorrow morning, temperatures drop to 23 degrees Celsius over most places. Few area, too, we'll report about 52.
Okay.
When we get some storms, admitted, localized storms, the temperature to drop to 22. But of course, we are not going to get more than 31 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
And then 30 degrees will be the most temperature record that we get this afternoon. And then most morning temperatures drop to 5 degrees Celsius. But the West Coast is about 34 degrees Celsius. That's the forecast for the next 24 hours from now.
Okay. And I'm grateful. Thank you so much for joining us with those details that you've given. That's Mr. Mula Chachusiame. He's a meteorological officer with the Ghana Meteorological Agency. We're grateful. Now you know the weather. Obviously, we can't. There's very little that we can do about the flooding unless there are major policy, statements and exactly.
But I know the effort have been made to make sure that at least we dredge the Odo to make sure there's free passage of whatever water that seeps into it.
Have you seen the result of the earlier dredging? Is it making any impact?
We need to completely dredge the Odo because I think that it's only one side that has been dredged. So we need to fully dredge it towards
what is holding us from doing the complete thing, considering what happened?
I think
recently?
So far, I've had some interactions with the ministry officials, and they said it could be done before the major rainy season.
You see, that's what we say. We sit here, and then it will come and meet us again.
Well, let's see.
I mean, it's very annoying. The last time it rained, not yesterday, but the one before yesterday, Circle, the situation was almost the same.
Almost.
Yes. So we'll sit here and it will come back and meet us.
All right.
Amazing.
Right now, we'll have to take a break. When we come back...
No, not yet. Remember the story I told you about?
Yes.
The Nigeria gas? Okay. So you know that Ghanaian officials haven't said anything. You know that about, is it 100 million that we paid? Okay. So
no,
this is the
10.
story. We paid 10, not 100. This is 10. Okay. So this is from a Nigerian website, is Linda Ikeji. And this is what they reported yesterday. Ghana agrees to pay 33.8 billion. Roland, do the conversion for me. I was trying to do it. I'm getting because I want to know if it's the same figure that we have. 33.8 billion naira. Please convert for me. Gas debts owed Nigeria by February 2016. Fred, please go down. Let's share a little bit of the details here. And the story says that these are comments that people gave afterwards. It says that the president of Ghana, John Mahama, today, which was yesterday, Tuesday, reached an agreement with the government of Nigeria, represented by NNPC GMD Ibe Kaichuku, to pay off the 33.8 billion naira owed Nigeria from the gas supply provided by a Nigerian gas company, NGAS, the main supplier of gas to Ghana's Volta River Authority through the West African gas pipeline. The NGAS buys gas from NNPC and transports it to customers in Benin, Togo, and Ghana. The NGAS had recently threatened to cut gas supply by 70% to Ghana's main power generation company due to unpaid debts. Okay, so their figure is $181 million. We had 180, isn't it? Okay, and then we paid 10 out of this figure. So there you go. They say we'll pay by February, and the comments, people people decided to put their own comments to that. I'll leave you if you're interested. You can hit on it and read the details for yourselves. But we're paying by February 2016. Until then, every day that they supply us gas, we'll still owe them, right?
Yeah, sure.
Amazing.
But at least this will pay by February. So it means that it will still be carried forward beyond February.
Maybe the follow-up that we can do is how we intend paying that. Is it in bit or in February 2016? We'll carry the bulk cash and go and give them.
No,
so we have to know the payment plan. The payment plan. Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. You have a lot more? Today you're releasing
we have to make way for talk. We have to make way for talk.
Okay. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll be doing discussions on AM to stay up.